Hello, my name is Samuel Spatola, and I serve as president of Saints Equipped to Evangelize, the ministry with which Tom and Maureen served with here in Italy for 8+ years. And I just want to start by saying that it's an honor to be able to, though not be physically present at the memorial, to be able to at least share some thoughts and some memories of Tom. And again, I count that as a real honor and a privilege to be able to be a part of this, and I'm even grateful for the technology that allows this sort of thing to happen. Um, we as a ministry here in Italy and as a church were deeply saddened when about 7-8 months ago we first heard of Tom's illness, and we joined Maureen and Tom in praying for healing and for complete healing. And as that looked less and less like, we prayed as a body and as individuals that God would give Tom and Maureen both the grace and the mercy to endure it and to finish well. And it's been a blessing to see God's faithfulness and Tom's courage and Maureen's courage and again, faithfulness and relying upon God through the storm, through the difficulty, through a really harsh disease. And so um, our thoughts and memories and hearts go out to them. But we're also grateful that we're able to learn and see saints finish off well and trust God even in the storm, even in difficulty. I want to share three things with you guys today. And three things when I think of Tom and working with him and being his friend and coworker, three things that come to mind. And remember this, Tom and I worked together for 8.5 years. We shared an office, a room for all those years together, and so we saw each other daily. We worked closely together, and so we got to see each other in stressful times and in joyous and easy times, and so I feel like I know him pretty well. And as I think of Tom, the first thing that comes to mind is his service, his heart for service, for servanthood. He's had a variety of jobs throughout the years. And some of those jobs were pretty prominent, and he had a lot of authority and was kind of a big boss man. But when he came to Italy, he poured those last 8-10 years of working years into service, into serving the ministry here, the church planning, the missions teams, the Bible school. And time again, when I think of Tom, and as my wife and I were talking about this just a bit ago, what really comes to mind is his willingness to serve, to be useful and helpful in any way possible, to do so with a great attitude, and never got the impression or felt that anything was too good for Tom or that he was unwilling to do something. He was always just, again, willing to serve. And that's a real testimony, and people notice that. Students notice that. Other staffers have always noticed that. And again, even as the news of his passing was shared with the church, as people began sharing their memories and thoughts of him, the same sort of stuff came up. And so again, he's been a real model for me of what it means to serve and to do so with a really glad heart, and to do it without any kind of grumbling or anything like that, but really seeing the value of being part of a team and serving. Secondly, I think of our friendship, and again, we shared an office for 8+ years together. We rode countless hours in cars together, and were in a lot of meetings together. And over the years, we developed what I feel to be a really good and close friendship. And so I'm going to miss that. I appreciate that about Tom, that he's very service oriented. He's also a fierce ally and a very loyal friend. And I saw that through just good and bad times in ministry, that he was consistently a very loyal friend and very helpful. And so when I think of Tom, I think of that, and I miss that friendship, and I miss his presence. And then thirdly, I think of his witness. He was limited with Italian, and he never quite grasped the language fluently or completely. But he was able to communicate, and he did communicate with Italians, with people he worked with vendors that we worked with, and he left an imprint, a mark. Recently, someone in church shared that someone that is now filling in Tom's role here in Italy shared that the different vendors that we work with, and shops and stores and whatnot that we work with, after hearing the news of Tom's passing, shared some thoughts and shared good memories and positive memories about him. And consistently with this fellow worker of mine that took Tom's place, kept saying was that the vendors, the people we've worked with, all consistently say what a great person he was, what a delight he was to work with, and that they're really grieved or saddened to hear the news of his passing. And what that communicates to me is that he had a strong witness, even locally among non-believers and people who were trying to reach here in Italy, as a person that was honest and charitable and great to work with. And again, that bodes well for us as a ministry. That bodes well for us as a church plant, and I think also for the gospel that he represented Christ well. That people have look at him and esteem his work and his their dealings with him. And so again, three things that come to mind: service, friendship, and his witness that he left here in Italy. And so I'm grateful that to have known Tom. I'm grateful to have been his coworker and his friend, and I'm grateful for the great and good work he did here in Italy. And we're still feeling the effects of that even now. And so, though we're saddened by his departure, we take heart and we take encouragement in the fact that we are believers, and Tom was as well, and that we trust in Christ, and we know that we will be with Christ for eternity, as Tom is already, and we rejoice to one day be with Tom again in eternity in God's presence. And so, though it's tough for us right now, it's momentary, and at the end of time we will be joined together. And so we rejoice in that. We're glad at that reality, and we look forward, and I look forward to seeing Tom in the new heavens and the new earth. All right, thank you.